Oh my gosh.
So,
yeah, but she knows. She's aware of it.
Who?
Bella.
Oh, I was going to tell you a few things. Wait, so what did I fill you in on? Nothing really.
Nothing. Right? Just the last thing that you're going to write a letter.
Oh, right.
Or half a letter.
Or probably, how I'd be friends with them. Like, I'm sure he actually already invited me. He's like, if you're interested in living in community, he's like, you can come and stay at our place for a week and see how it works out, like when this is over.
Oh, in Oregon.
Yeah.
We'll be close to each other.
Oh, how far is the drive?
3 hours.
And that's it?
Yeah. It's an easy 3 hours, too.
Oh.
And there's not, like, traffic where you're like, how you guys call traffic. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens at the end of this. But the point is, like, I think that I'm just a really cool person, but how I feel like today things, you know, like I went to sleep separate last night, and then I had a dream that, one of the dreams I had was that he, like in the middle of the night, he like came like next to me to cuddle in the dream. And I don't really, like I don't think anything else happened, that's all I remember. And then this morning when we were talking about our dreams, he was like, come here to talk about it. And then I went in and we cuddled in the morning, and it was nice. And I made a joke to him, like, oh, you're a good cuddler, you passed a test, you know, in the sense that, like, you know, when you can feel if your body fits well with someone or not. And so it does fit well together. And so that was kind of nice. And it was funny because I was joking, I was like, I feel like my chakras are lighting up in a sense. I remember I told you, I feel nothing down there, but like, I felt a little bit of stress, so I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, that was one day.
Yeah, but like, not that he didn't, like, he was totally appropriate. He wasn't like getting, he made a joke of like, if you were something like skin to skin is better, he's like, but then we'd have to be dealing with wood. Like, it's a joke because like I was in like that puffy jacket that Christina gave me and like all that stuff. So yeah, but it was nice to like talk to him, and I finally like, you know, it's like you talk more intimately when you're like cuddling with someone versus not. So it was nice. It's always nice conversation with him. He has so much strategy though, in terms of like how he wants to bring everyone together. So sometimes I'm kind of just like, stop strategizing. But for the most part, it's
That's because he has a mission.
He does.
Anybody who has a mission, they're gonna strategize.
Right. And I don't really feel that way in the sense of like, do I want to bring more love into the world? Of course.
He has a different
like he really wants to bring the community, and I do want to have, and I told him all the things I want to do, and they're all like connecting exercises or things I want to do together with everyone. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited to
well, I would say my advice to you would be caution. And because just looking on the outside, you never know somebody's true intentions, and so you never truly know.
I agree with that. I already thought about it and questioned him on it in the sense, like technically I'm really the only eligible one in the sense of like all the other females are either taken or pregnant or whatever. And
he's not my type, not even a cuddle.
Right. Like, obviously, but yeah.
Hi. That's probably about, you know.
Right. No, I know. And so like I've been like, you know, like no one else technically applies because he's not polyamorous. He's not like Bella, no. And then Bree and Hex are taken. And then
that's it.
You. Right, and you're preg. So there's really no one else.
Yeah.
So,
I just hope your feelings don't get involved. Because if this is connecting already, and then this is connecting, or starting to...
I don't mind having feelings for him because I know he's not my life partner. He has a...
But there's ways around children.
Weird. Yeah, he's kind of weird though too.
Yeah, he's kind of weird.
That's what I mean. Like,
he's a lot of weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why like
a lot of weird.
It's totally fine to fall like love. Like for example, like this idea that like relationships have to be forever is not true.
No, you're right.
And even love, like I still love all my ex-boyfriends. I'm not with them because it didn't work for whatever reasons it didn't work.
But love and people's actions can hurt. like it can make you feel some kind of way or uneasy.
I do agree with what you're saying. However, I'm like going into this knowing that there's an end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if anything, I feel like this is like a relationship on vacation. Like those are sometimes the best kind, because you're not stuck in the future about, oh, what is this going to be like.
As long as your mindset's there.
That's what it totally
that's your
is.
mindset.
That's what it totally is, because those have always been my favorite romances, have been the ones that have been on vacation, because there's no pressure. It's so like for the moment, like, you know, this is kind of like a work vacation. And so looking at it that way, and I also feel like this one will teach me, I feel like already I'm learning so much about myself just from today, from working with him. Like pointing out like, oh, I used to be really chebe, and I'm noticing that I'm like, oh, am I doing it right? Like when I, like he'd like correct something or something, and that's like awesome that I'm like seeing where I'm at that. So when you like kind of spend time with people in that way, and things come up to see like, oh, like the other thing about, we were doing yoga on the dock, and I was like, I really like my own time, and I really love to do my own practice, and I don't mind sharing the space, but I don't want to be leading him all the time, or like I don't necessarily want to do the same things, because like my practice is always more intense than other people's. That's why I like to do mine first, and then I'm glad to teach or lead or whatever you want to call it. And so like there's been times in relationships where I feel like, oh, like go away, you know, because I'm kind of like a guy when it comes to that stuff. And so I guess I was just feeling that a little bit this morning, where I was like, we can still share the same space and not be doing the same thing. And he was like totally cool with it, and I was happy. And I said to him, like, you know, I'm really a free bird, and my biggest fear in relationships is like feeling caged. And he's like, that's just a product of your past experiences. Because I've had the boyfriends that were jealous, or like didn't want me to go swim naked in the ocean, or whatever it was. And it's just like, just let me be.
You said swim naked in the ocean, and I'm like, don't do it, Nikki. And you're like, just let me be. That's like a what? But I get it. I like to swim naked in the ocean. No, I don't.
Did you ever try it?
No.
Why don't you try it?
I don't like being naked.
Even though it feels good.
Anywhere.
But Amy,
prostitution, she'll do it.
That's so cute. Yeah, you don't have to worry about me.
This is gonna it's just so funny. You're so much alike,
but different.
But just different.
Yeah.
Like just different.
Yeah, I know. You know he's weird. I tell him I'm like, you're weird. He's like, I know. Like how he eats. It's really funny, right?
It's like, and then you just look like your face is always like, mine. Like, because it's never, I can't relax around him, because of all, from what he says, from his mannerisms, the things that he does, and the way he looks, and the way he eats, the way he smells.
It's this stuff.
Yes.
I noticed today when I put it on, and I was like, oh, that's the smell. Because I'm thinking, he is weird. That's the other thing. I'm like, I can't like this guy, and he's not compatible for me, because
his body
now you
odor.
have to like his man's scent. His scent is masked by these clothes.
Yes, and he was talking, because he's very clean. Like, he cleans his nails and he cleans his hands. And I was thinking, like, and then he's conscious of his deodorant, and you know, and I was like, how is this man like? And then today I was like, he said smoke smell, and immediately it triggered, like, that is a smoke smell. That's not a stinky man smell. It's a smoke smell. And then I was just like, oh, you're telling the truth.
Smell this.
No, I smell it.
You can smell it on me now, because I'm wearing it. Exactly.
But it was like, I couldn't put my finger on him. Like, is that feet? But it's not corn chippy. It's not raw eggs or broccoli.
You're so funny.
You gotta taste the air.
Yeah, you're so funny.
Turns out it's smoke.
Yeah. But I'm totally content where, like, it'd be nice to take it slow at this point. Like, just cuddle. I don't even want to kiss him right now. Ugh. Not there. Like, ugh, not there yet. With the cuddles.
Are you guys gonna sleep together tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
The cuddles are so healing. Cuddling is so
Oh, he has a
healing.
warm blanket too.
Yeah, all of that. All the above, check. And it's nice to have that like masculine energy. It was really nice to lay there. And even the midtime. And I also love that he's like, take breaks during the day. Like, all those things I feel like I've wanted to do, but I've felt guilty to do.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's so judgy once you do.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, people voted me to work the least, and I'm like, I haven't even stopped.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, and in my opinion, you work the hardest.
Oh.
You're one of the people who work the hardest.
Thank you. But it triggers people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow. Well,
I'll be sure to keep you in the loop on everything.
We definitely have to have lunch tomorrow.
Yes. I still want to keep our lunch. That's the other thing. It's like I'm so independent. Like, I still want to have lunchtime with you. I still want to, at least a few times a week, do doc sessions with Ernesto. Like, I love our talks.
I think Ernesto and Josh, they may be a little hurt.
Are they?
Not hurt, like, but just like, oh, man. Like, geez.
You think?
It's my chance.
I just don't get it. Josh and I have no connection. Ernesto and I have a heart connection. But, like, our beliefs are so different. Like, I could never be with a religious man, ever. You know? Doesn't mean I can't be friends with you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same like you. I'm sure you couldn't be with a man that wasn't Christian.
Right. That's number one.
Right.
No matter how good they smell, how they look, what kind of car they drive, what kind of job they have. I've seen it, girl. And I was like, do you love the Lord? I'm like, no, I've never been to church. I was like, oh, Jesus, take me down. Take me down. Why this temptation? My flesh is weak, Lord. My flesh is weak. Die, old man, in me. Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's just...
There's no men in your church?
Yeah, there's a lot of men in my church.
But not ones you like.
No.
You want the bling. You want the men to have the bling.
No, I like men with like goals and who's passionate and who can who knows how to lead. I'm so strong in like what I do, and I don't have time to hold anyone's hand. You know what I mean? Like you need to be there. Like we need to be there first. And it's rare that I meet a guy that's where I'm at. And not financially, because I'm not materialistic at all. But I can't, like, watching the guy, like, talk and complain about something but not do anything about it. I'm like, oh, you know, like, why aren't you doing something about it? Don't complain about anything until you do something about it. Or guys who's content where they are. And it's like, no, we can always strive to do better.
That's my thing. Well, actually, Kat and I had an interesting conversation today because I had this conflict about, like, you know, knowing I like to live simple and like close to the earth and with the land and stuff. Like, I have conflict about where to live. It's like I feel like I need to live in a major city so that I can travel easily because the work I do, I'm sure, will still be the yoga and the meditation, the nutrition, all that stuff. Like empowering people to live healthier and happier. And with that, I'm sure I'll, you know, be in different cities and however it may evolve. And he kind of was like, well, I guess let's say if I chose to live, I was like, well, I just need the internet because then I can blog and post all that stuff. He's like, why would you want to do your work on the internet? You could just work work the land. And I was like, that would be selfish. Like, I was put on this earth for a purpose. And if I just decided to go live in the woods somewhere, like, I wouldn't impact anyone's life. You know, like we all have a purpose. And so if I'm like isolated